It's officially game week here in Cincinnati as the Bengals get ready to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here at Paycor Stadium on Saturday. And you will see Joe Burrow and the rest of Cincinnati's starters play in some capacity on Saturday night. We'll see how much Zach Taylor keeps those starters in for, but Joe Burrow said he wants to get at least a full drive's worth of work for him to feel like he's ready to go when the season starts, because as everybody knows, he has not been able to do anything in the preseason the last 2 years. The last time he took preseason snaps, it was 2021, and he thinks this could be very valuable for him moving forward. And this is the game that makes sense for the starters to play because of the joint practices the Bengals have lined up against the Bears next week and the Colts the week following. So let's start with some injury news as we lead into Saturday's game. Today, Zach Taylor ruled out defensive end Cam Sample for this season. He tore his Achilles last week in practice and will not be able to make it back for the season. And it's a huge blow to Cincinnati's defense because he does a ton for defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo up front. He can play inside and he can play outside. And over the last couple of years, he's proven to be a very reliable piece of this defense, so it's a huge blow. And that means players like Zach Carter, Joseph Osai, and Myles Murphy will really need to step up in place of Sample. I also would expect the Bengals at some point to look around the league and see who gets cut after some of these preseason games to start to continue to add to that defensive line room. A couple of other updates. This is not an injury update, but Trent Brown is returning to the practice field today. He did individual work. He was cleared from the active non-injured list yesterday. He didn't practice, but today he was able to do some individual work, and Zach Taylor said this was really the target date that they had for him to get back to work, so they will ease him as a veteran back into things. But he is back on the field, and that means the competition with Amarius Mims really starts now that he's on the field. Some other injury updates while we're talking about it. Rookie defensive tackle McKinley Jackson left on a cart today. We will see what that injury was and how severe it is, but he did leave. And today it was really a veteran rest day for a lot of guys. Sheldon Rankins, Trey Hendrickson, and Sam Hubbard all didn't practice and were on the rehab field for a majority of the practice today, as the Bengals have a day off tomorrow, and then they'll load up again before the preseason game. But some load management going on right now with some of these guys and their injuries. Some other updates. The Bengals released their first depth chart today, and you can take some things away from it, but you also have to temper your expectations because it's still the preseason. But some takeaways for me were that Trent Irwin was listed as the number 3 wide receiver. He's continued to have a strong camp and make his case as one of those reliable options for Burrow. So that was notable for me. Also, DJ Turner being ahead of Dax Hill on that cornerback list was noteworthy. I still expect that battle to continue to go on throughout camp, and you really won't be able to get a gauge of it until you start seeing them against opponents from other teams. But that was certainly noteworthy to me, and the right tackle battle right now with Trent Brown being listed ahead of Amarius Mims. But I wouldn't expect that to not be a battle for the rest of camp. So that's it for a couple of key updates heading into this preseason game. The Bengals are off on Tuesday and back for practice on Wednesday and Thursday before a day off on Friday for the game on Saturday. So keep it here at Cincinnati.com for all your updates on the Cincinnati Bengals.